Yes, another theme week here at Body Bags. And this is a really cool theme week. In any given franchise, we are choosing the number threes. You know, the ones that get absolutely no respect in a franchise of films, other than, Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. That's a pretty good one, probably one of the best one. But the one I chose is one that doesn't get enough mention from the Violent Shit collection. Violent Shit 3 Infantry of Doom, and some of you may know it as Zombie Doom. And it's a film from 1999, only 79 minutes, and it's directed, written, and produced by Andreas Schnoz. German splatterhound. Him and Olaf Ittenbach reign in that area of German splatter. They are the Orson Welles and Michelangelo Antonioni of German splatter films. And this is a really good collection here from Synapse. I have always wanted to see these films, and finally when Synapse produced this disc of all the Violent Shit films, I jumped on it and grabbed it. Only on DVD, but I'm sure this is the best any of these films are going to look, and it looks really good on DVD. I don't think there's any chance of these films making it onto Blu-ray. These films are gory as hell. Fun, low budget, shot on video. And if you've seen any of Andreas Schnoz films, you also see Anthropophagus 2000, which was one of my favorite shot on video films. They bring the gore, the guts, and just the fun. And the only, I saw Violent Shit 1, and I've seen clips of Violent Shit 2, and then I've seen Violent Shit 3. So I've seen Violent Shit 1 and Violent Shit 3. And I have to say, Violent Shit 3, I liked a lot better than the first Violent Shit film. It had more of a storyline to this, and it had a lot of good fight scenes and action scenes that were really good and really fun. And a lot of good kung fu action as well in this one. Yeah, I believe that. This film was so much fun, never overwhelmed its stay, and definitely the best of the Violent Shit films that I've seen, and I've only seen Violent Shit 1 and clips of Violent Shit 2. So I definitely want to watch the rest of the collection. But yeah, this is a great one from Synapse. As you can see in the back, this is the film I saw right here. And if you want to get a close-up and pause, this is basically all the films you have. Basically the entire Violent Shit collection. With an extra disc of Zombie 90 Extreme Pestilence. So yeah, Andreas Schnoz greatness. Awesome stuff. I'll open the disc up so you can see. I've probably seen this, showed this one off before. These are all the discs in the collection, and I'll show them again real quick. 2 on each disc. A really great collection from Synapse. Synapse did a great job preserving these films, and I'm glad they put this out, man. This is really good. The only time, there was a box set of Violent Shit, but it was straight from Germany, and if you didn't have an all-region player, you obviously couldn't see it. But, yeah, really fun films. The 2 I did see were fun, but I love Violent Shit 3 a lot better than Violent Shit 1, I gotta say that. Welcome to Body Bags. I'm your Thursday reviewer, Chris from Chris B Movies. You know my name is Chris. You know I love B movies. And these are definitely B movies. These are SOV titles. German splatter at their finest. And like I say, the reigners of the German splatter are Andreas Schnoz, who did these films, in Anthropophagus 2000. And, of course, the great Olaf Ittenbach. You know about that guy. So I'm going to give you a synopsis of Violent Shit 3. And like I say, lots of action in this one. Great fight choreography in this one. The gore was realistic. Very well done. Extreme gore in this film, guys. So if you're not a gore hound, I would stay far away from any of these films. But this had, I thought, the better storyline than the first film. So anyway, Carl the Butcher, Sr. and Jr., basically live in this deserted island with all their psycho killers, all wearing that same metal mask. And they rule this island, so anybody who ventures onto this island will get caught and basically murdered. Or they'll play this certain game that they like to play with people inhabiting their land, which I'm going to get to later on. So these 3 guys get isolated on the island run by Carl the Butcher Sr. and Jr. And basically, as soon as they get on the island, they automatically get ransacked by his men, and then they are brought into to where Carl the Butcher Sr. and Jr. are, and they get basically tied up to these, stakes. They just stick it tied up. So then we meet Carl Sr. and Jr., as you've seen them in the first two films. They come out and they deal with three guys who betrayed them and tried to take over their land. So they basically murder these guys in the most gruesome fashion, while these new inhabitants of the island just sitting there tied up, just watching in extreme horror. The meantime, while these guys are getting killed, there's one guy who just talks a whole lot of smack and shit. And so when Carl the Butcher Sr. and Jr. focuses attention on these three inhabitant guys on the island, this one guy just keeps talking shit, even spit in Carl Jr.'s face. So which means Carl Jr. just took him down and brutally massacred and murdered him in front of the other two guys. And the other two guys are like, no, no. And I'm like, this guy deserved it. He spit in Carl Jr.'s face. What do you think was going to happen? So basically he says to the other two guys, I'm going to give you guys a chance. And he said, we're going to play a little game. And then he took one of his men that tried to run away, but, ended up getting caught. And he said, you two guys and this guy who tried to run away from our camp, we'll let you guys free. You can run away. And in a day, we're going to come down and hunt you. So the guys are all about this because they feel that, given that much of a lead, they'll be able to escape the island and nothing will happen to them. In the meantime, the people who have been killed and have died on the island, previous to this, there's a doctor who's like turning these dead bodies, reviving the dead bodies and turning into zombie killers. And basically, members of Carl Sr. and Carl Jr.'s army, but they're just like zombie and they're just brutal killers. And basically these guys, along with Carl Jr. and Sr.'s other just killers, are going to track these guys down in a day. And basically when they find them, they're just going to friggin' murder them in the most brutal way possible. So the guys are said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go. Well, they're all running, like the Dickens. Albeit, one of the guys who ran away, the Japanese guy, he had two other guys that were on the island looking for him. And so he met up with them, and they're all like kung fu artists. So basically, those the Japanese guy and his two brothers or friends, they didn't really say whether they were brothers or friends. So I'll just say one was a brother, I truly believe, and one was a friend. They're all gonna fight back. And basically, the Japanese guy, because he worked with Carl the Butcher, he knew where the weapons are. And there's this area where two men are guarding a tent. Basically has a lot of weapons. So they figure that they'll overpower these guys, kill these guys, and then take all the weapons so they can fight back against Carl Jr. and Sr.'s army of killers. And that's what they are. They're these infantry of just killers that all support Carl Sr. and Jr. Except for the guys that betrayed them, that tried to take over. And well, they met their timely fate. Or untimely fate. So anyway, what ensues in a day is when Carl Sr. and Jr.'s guys, killers, finally meet up with the guys that were running away for the day. There was this all-out battle of blood, guts, and gore, and lots of great kung fu action, and people die and people live. And I'm not going to tell you who dies and lives in this film. You just got to see this to believe. So much great action in this film. So much fun. One of Andrea Schnoz's best films, I would say. And like I say, it's not as good as Anthropophagus 2000, but I think it's better than the first Violent Shit film. To be perfectly honest with you. Just loads of fun, and lots of great fight choreography in this one, and it's just a friggin' blast of a film. And people get killed in the worst ways. Like one guy, they have these like sticks and these hooks attached, and they like 5 of Carl Jr.'s guys just went kind of hit him with the hooks, and basically they hooked onto the guy's body and they just ripped his insides out. That scene was like insane, man, insane. And the gore in this film is awesome. And effects, the gore effects were just very realistic and very, very, very well done. And I say another awesome film for Andreas Schnaz. Lots of fun, lots of action, never overwhelms its stay, never a dull moment in this one. The acting's over the top and fun. I love Carl Sr. and Carl Jr. Carl Sr. was actually played by Andreas Schnaz, and Mark Trinkhaus played Carl Jr. So yeah, just lots of fun to be had. I really love Carl Sr. and Carl Jr. in this one. They did a freaking awesome job. But yeah, such an amazing, fun film. And like I say, it's not long, so it doesn't overwhelm the stage. It's just fun. Lots of guts, gore, and fun. German splatter at its best. So check out Violent Shit 3 Infantry of Doom. And I'm going to put this one on the cheeseometer. 10 being the best cheese, 1 being the worst cheese ever. I give it a good 8.5. I had a blast watching this film. It's a lot of fun. Lots of good practical effects. Lots of great choreography, fight scenes. A lot of good kung fu action. And lots of fun deaths. And honestly, after watching this film, some of the death scenes in this may be in your top 5 favorite death scenes ever in the film, because some of them were really good. So anyways, 8.5. And I'll check you guys out next week with something else. Don't know what I'm going to bring to the table. Let's just say it's going to be a surprise. Check out all the Body Bags reviewers, because they're all doing number 3s. The often neglected in the franchise of films, the number 3s. So check out and see what they bring to the table. It's going to be all good stuff, I guarantee that. And every day, we have a new reviewer, so check it out every day. Subscribe if you like. And subscribe to Crispy Movies. Crispy Movies, you never know what you're going to get. I'm going to have an update coming up soon, Blu-ray update, so definitely check that out as well. And don't forget to check those late night horror movies. Read up on your latest Fright Mags. Don't forget to tune in to another episode of the show we call Body Bags. Or I'll contact Carl Jr. and Sr. to come and get ya. Later, guys.